back from our Smulanyana break. Hope you guys enjoyed those songs. We had
Zaz Money, Pearl Africa, Zayn Essays, Hlomu Hlaba.
yes.
We had, what other songs do we have? Why don't I know these songs?
Hey, guy, you know
It's
what?
always my thing.
When you're busy dancing up in here, dancing and enjoying the music, you forget what those songs are. But that's neither here nor there. We'll come back to that. Now, so today we are unpacking, undressing.
This shifting?
Yeah, putting our focus on
Book one.
book one. If you were listening last week, we did book 2
As our first book.
as our first book. And I'll repeat what I said. I believe that's where the story should have begun. Introducing into this world that already exists. But again, that's my opinion.
That's opinion, yes.
That's my opinion. Hlomu the Wife.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
The Red Flag Olympics.
Yeah.
The Red Flag Olympics.
Yeah.
So I've got notes this week.
You got notes?
I've got notes.
I don't need notes in that.
We know
I was
this.
traumatized by this book. Do you know what happened? I made notes and I stopped at chapter 4.
Yeah.
Making notes.
Okay.
And my last note said, okay, so we see nothing is good, but we continue. that was my note. I was like,
guys, I can't believe him. But anyway, so my notes are more on outlines,
okay.
and I feel like this book 1, is the introduction
Yes.
of we see the introduction or introducement. I'm not sure which word to use. Of
It's not your mother tongue, Chance.
not at all, of the Zulu family through the eyes of Hlomu.
Okay, I get that. Ne? I get that. And yes, we are introduced to them. We don't know I didn't know what's coming. So let me set the stage quickly.
Okay.
Ne? So
I've got you. The platform is yours.
I'd never read these books.
Okay.
I purchased the books, not for myself.
Yes.
Right? I purchased them for somebody else,
Yes.
my partner at the time. She was ranting and raving, loving the stories. So I had no idea. And what I know when you're not actively listening, yo, I read this book, and I was like, okay, whatever. Read the books, enjoy yourself. Having read the books, no, guys. No. Like, you're introduced, coming back to what you said, you're introduced to the Zulu family, sharp, through the eyes or the experience of Mahlo, right? I couldn't read, man. Like,
Okay, so let's start it back because I want us to start the Red Flag Olympics on the sense of it's how they meet. Well, obviously, everybody meets everybody anywhere, and I can't do that again, right? Because
when
you shoot your shot.
church, mall,
Yes, you'll shoot your shot, but this is the trickiest part. At which point do people think it's okay to?
Bruh, this guy stalks this lady.
There you have it.
And I'm reading it, right? And I'm thinking to myself, there's somebody out there who thinks this is cute.
It is cute. Cause
It's not!
It is cute. It's cute for the first 3 times. After 3 times,
No,
it's stalkerish.
no. As a child, as a man's,
Yes.
I'm reading this and I'm thinking to myself, Baleka, run with your feet while you can.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I just said. Like I'm reading it. If this had been a friend of mine who would come and told me that this was happening, I would be like, China, contact the police, stay away from this person.
Okay. So anyway, we'll hold it right there. So it's that they meet at a taxi rank in Joburg CBD. He tries to come. her through, start walking and all of those things. And then we move into how quickly the relationship just escalates. Like, these people, he stalks her, doesn't win her.
He courts her according to what other people believe happened.
Yes, he courts her
but it's stalking
through stalking. No, he courts her through stalking. And eventually, she starts climbing into his car.
No, she climbs out of not feeling like she doesn't have a choice.
Yes.
Where she had choices, but this is again.
No, she had choices, but he actively prepared that the choices.
And reading this.
If you're friends with taxi drivers, to me, it's very easy to bully somebody into a corner.
I get that.
Sorry, this is in no way, any means.
Not promoting such behavior.
Yes,
no.
It's not. We're not promoting it, but we're also not saying that this is a taxi driver thing per se.
Yeah.
This is in accordance to the content of the
Yes.
book. I'd just like to make that known.
So I'm reading it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, and I touched on this before we did this thing of how there's a lot of parallels to real life.
Yes.
Scenarios like this
Happen all the time.
I'm a guy. I'm a guy. I don't have this extreme. Don't get me wrong.
That level of stalkership.
Yes, I have been driving, seen a girl. Hey, where you going? Need a
Running
lift?
a mod.
No, I've never followed. I don't do that. I'm like, need a lift?
You've
No?
never done
Cool.
a drive-by.
I don't. You need to have a level of self-control, bruh. I've heard of stories. I know.
Is this how you play that Hlomu?
No, that's not. I don't. That conversation we'll have offline. But anyways, so I've seen and I've participated, not at this level.
Yeah.
Because my thing was this: to track down where she lives, where she works, all of these things, and
I'm asking myself, how did this guy do it? Because there's nowhere in the book where Dudu actually tells us how he went about it.
well, we do, but that's later on in the books, and this is one of the reasons why I said, as I read the books,
Yeah.
the writing gets better and better.
Yeah, but this is the first book.
Yes, and with that being said, there's a lot of.
Don't mind my cold.
There's a lot of.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
You can tell that you can tell that.
Yeah.
This started as a Facebook diary.
Okay.
Right, I could tell. Reading it, I was like, okay, I wonder the way this thing is structured. Yeah, okay, this was
Structured according to likes.
not even likes. It wasn't initially written for print. Like I could tell there were a few grammatical errors here,
Yes.
a few spelling issues there, small and other things.
It wasn't
nothing.
big things. Yes,
Yeah.
no, I know.
One, and it's one of the things that I've said to you that with regards to Dudu's writing, I enjoy the fact that it's an easy read.
Easy read, very progressive.
Yes.
And you can tell with each book her level of growth and depth and insights.
Yes.
Because she's immersed herself now more in the comfortability of writing. It's not just about styles, but you really learn through reading the various books that follow is the ease with which she's now transcended into in terms of writing.
And like, for example, something that I mentioned to you
Yes.
in the writing is that in this first book,
Uh-huh.
right, which is why this is about, there's that from Facebook adaptation things. There are certain parts in the story, cutscenes as I call them, where the story shifts drastically and I'm like, where are we now?
Yeah.
For me it's like, okay, I didn't see this coming.
Sometimes it feels like, it's almost like, I think the thing about writing for Facebook initially is always that thing. One thing I found with diaries, instead of saying, they don't call them chapters, they call them inserts.
Yes.
And from the inserts, you kind of get the sense that it's written almost like TV episodes.
Okay.
So in TV, half the time there are things that just cut without that warning.
Yes.
And initially that's what they did, but you can tell once you move into book 2 and 3 that she's now consciously writing to be a book.
Yes, it's more linear in its progression.
Yes.
The first book, I remember one of the things, there are 2 parts where it just jumps.
Yeah.
And a part of me, having not read the Facebook diary, right?
Yes.
Part of me says, well, okay, maybe part of the editorial purpose or situation that was had was, like you said, it was written as inserts. And like any book to movie adaptations, you have to cut out certain
things. You need to also create better transitions so that it flows better when it's a book than it is a. But okay,
so I'm thinking, before you continue, so I'm hoping she listening will let us know if that's true, that some of those.
One day we'll have that interview.
One day, Sungama. She's going to be on a podcast.
Where?
On YouTube tonight. Vuvu something. I saw it on her IG. She posted it. Yes, she posted it on her IG.
Maybe she can come on the podcast.
She's discussing the end, the last book.
Okay.
There. So.
But that's not our thing.
Yeah.
Our thing is completely different.
Yeah,
But thank you for the heads up.
That being said,
we need to look after this.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna watch it because I want to see what she has to say.
Yeah.
That being said, we'll definitely have her.
Yeah.
Come rain.
Dudu Busani, we want, even if it's us coming to you where you are, we want to make it work.
Right. Telecom, whatever it is, J5 minutes Anyana, we'll have her on the show. For me,
I want to sit down with her. But that's just me.
Yeah, we'll manifest it, don't worry.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yes. So anyway, sorry, my apologies. I'm like a little kid. Yes, because I'm excited. It's my books, my faves.
Okay.
So outside of that, we look at how quickly the relationship escalates. We move into Mkhele showers her with money.
Okay.
And that starts off really weird. Like, how do you say to a person, come to my house, and it's the first weekend, you disappear on them and leave kids?
Okay, wait. Slow down. So, again.
Oh, sorry, I jumped. I jumped.
No, it doesn't have to be linear, the discussion. But again, this is one of those scenarios whereby red flags, and we're constantly ignoring those red flags. Right? Because the being left with kids part, the hey, this is my house, here's money, furnish this thing the way you like. That's my first part. I was like, man drops 10 bands and is like, yeah, do whatever, child. Make it what you like.
Me, I was also like very Trump.
First red flag. I'm like, hey.
It was your second one.
Well,
the first one was the chase.
There were others leading up to that moment.
Yes.
But around this house situation that you're talking about, that are like unsavory behavior. This. Then get fine the kids situation. My thing around that, my feeling, okay, listen, Samuya, watch over these guys. We'll give you a call and we're out. Who does that?
I think it was doable back in the day. It's no longer doable now.
It's never acceptable.
I'm pretty sure people have done this thing somewhere, somehow. In reality, I don't think there's a sane person who can write about something that's never happened. Look at it this way. Do you know it's that thing of that people who you always hear stories about people who say, my dad left Some Korean song.
Yes. That's true. That's true. People disappear.
So for me, I think I equate this leaving the kids on some, can you do me a favor? But I'm like, how do you know me? Like, you don't even know if I'm a serial killer.
Yes.
You don't know if I have potential to be a child offender. Like,
again, you don't understand about Abba, it's just one thing after another, and we move.
Yeah.
And I was like, with that, she takes on the role. That particular part is the first part where she is the unofficial. She's made the unofficial matriarch.
Yes.
At that point, because of two things. Ngosana would never leave his kids with anybody he doesn't trust.
Yes.
First and foremost. And because he trusts his brothers completely, he trusted his brother's judgment more than he trusted her.
Yes.
Because he didn't know her from
a soap.
Right. So on that part, that I kind of understand.
Yeah.
Right. But I trust you, so if you think she's good,
if you think she's the one, because I think that also is an indication. I think because black dating. If I say to you I'm serious about the girl, and this is the first time I'm seeing you being serious about him either, I think the brother trusted based on him and the conversations had that we were not yet privy to.
Okay.
In terms of, they obviously have particular conversations in the background that aren't yet where we are now, the person we're talking about. They are not yet highlighted for us to see. So for us, it's like, no man, these oaks just did that.
Yes.
And this is the entry into this is our first inkling of the heist.
No, it's not even an inkling of the heist.
It's not an inkling of the heist.
It's an inkling that something nefarious is going on.
But this is what I'm saying. It's the first introduction into these guys are taxi drivers, but there's something else that also happens.
Yes, because they go missing.
They go
like
MIA.
2-3 days, something like that. Right? And at this point, this is where obviously she's introduced to the kids and she finds out some of them aren't going to school. The one is almost on the verge of dropping out. All of these things. But again, where I say this is where she becomes the unofficial matriarch. Yeah. The official matriarch moment happens much later. Within the same book, but a lot later. Now, this is that introduction into that world. And for me, with her, and that moment, one of the things that ran through my mind was,
are we not due for music?
Soon, I just want to finish this thought, right? One of the things that ran through my mind was, do people actually do this? Not in the sense of the guys leaving her. Are there women that will just adopt a group of kids? Like you barely know this man, and now you are like,
I don't think
I'm mothering all of these kids.
I think what happens is, okay, no, let's go to an ad.
Let's go to the ad, then we'll unpack your two sides.
So I'll let you know when we come back.
Yeah, and we're back.
Sanbanani. So we've just had Black Diamond, Ipanoi, and Casper Nyovest. Siatanan?
Yes. Featuring Boucher. Yes.
Boucher. That's how you wrote it. Boucher.
But that's how she writes it.
Not Boo.
Yeah, B-O-O.
Boucher.
Yeah. That's how she writes it. My mom, by the way, side note, not really related. When I was making
this, and you were playing the music.
Yes. So as I say, I'll literally create a playlist and I'll play it. I'll play it loud on my phone more than other things. And it was the first time she'd heard the Black Diamond song. She loves it so much.
Yeah, I guess it's reintroducing ourselves to music. Like I grew up in a home where we played music a lot, and then obviously as everybody grows older, households, the environment changes because you go to varsity, you do other things, so you're not predominantly all in the same space anymore. But what I'm finding is, what you're saying is we are reintegrating back into old habits in a new format.
And
way.
the other thing that I think
Let me put the pen away.
yes, do that. The other thing that I believe made us change is headphones. Once we started having headphones and earphones, you started listening to your own music separate to the house.
True.
You know, so people didn't quite know what's what anymore. But anyways.
So back to that thought.
Back to
before
the thought, yes.
Before Saya $8 and to the music.
Yes. So as I said,
Sean.
the thing that shocked me the most, like I say, was are there women out there that actually just adopt kids in that manner? And I say that simply because my expectation was upon their return, she's gonna be like, you know what, deuces, my guy, right now. Like peace, like this is too much, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to lie. When I read the book, the first time I've read the book twice.
Right.
So the first time I read this book, I was like, yay. But okay, slap on.
That's the entire attitude of the book. Okay, slap on. We move.
Slap on. And I kind of read the book with a romantic eye.
Okay.
Initially, in my letting go of things.
Okay.
I read it the second time. I'm like, it's not making me comfortable. It's not making me comfortable. These Olympics. To the first time she meets the brothers at the hospital. Bruh. Like, we are just dating, bruh. Who in their right mind, Kusha, would you take your brothers to go meet?
This is after she gets shot.
Yes.
Yes.
But the rubber bullets.
Yes.
All he heard was,
you take all your family.
all of it.
Not all of them, but my brother sees everything.
Okay.
So I would take him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moral support for him.
I get it. It's a brother. That's one. These people, they 7.
Including you. That makes 8. 8 people just rocking up.
Can you imagine this?
And obviously protect him, wasn't it?
True.
And generally, in the sense of that scene, that's exactly what it is about.
Yeah.
It's there are people who know, I guess in your family, there are people who know how to manage you in a particular thing. There are people who know how to manage the situation. And you kind of see their characters come out in that incident.
You see them in a moment where how they take control of situations, and whose position.
Yes, the positioning starts to enter.
But you don't pick it up initially there as the story unfolds and you start seeing them more and more. The other thing I wanted to say, because I don't want to spoil the book. If you haven't read it, please read it. If you have, I hope we share the same thoughts and opinions on the things that happened in the story. But you read it twice, I read it once, and in my reading, I'm sitting there like Hlomu just wants to see how red does this flag get. Like, which tone of maroon is she looking for? I don't know. Because for me, I'm sitting there like, just leave this man. Puma up. Like, the thing is this.
Yeah.
And I said this last week in the Zandile, the Resolute discussion. But I love the way that Dudu writes this, presents this love story, and I put that in air quotes, presents this love story as not romanticizing the Western sense of things.
Yes.
You know, because black love is different.
For everything.
Yeah, black love.
There ain't nothing like a black love story.
Like this, for me.
And even for us black people in different relationships, it's like, it's different, man.
This story for
it's
me,
not cookie cutter.
giving it a modern day context.
Yes.
This was the Tabo Besta Nandi
Makudumane.
story.
Makudugu.
Like, and I use that in the sense of, as through social media,
Yeah.
the things kept being unpacked of what had transpired, and it was just like yo, constantly. They had the country on their here,
chocolate.
you know, and I feel, for me, again, we not romanticizing black relationships in a Western perspective or lens.
Yes.
Like I said, it does give stalker vibes, and there are people who like that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
There are girls out there like, no, he must apply pressure. I must know, but
Yeah, fool.
yes, you know.
But for me, it's also the book. For a first book, even we start to see the violent nature
It's not that.
of love, where he hits her.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks in, he's already, yeah.
2 weeks.
And then eventually it moves into,
This is why I said she must leave Zibeg.
then it moves into, I don't know whether, it's not corrective sex, but it's that, and yeah,
Now that we're here,
man,
okay, now that you've touched on that, I remember you mentioning this to me. Because when we had the discussion, I was like, hey, I don't know what is happening here. He basically vents his anger through coitus.
it's a thing though, apparently.
That's what you brought to my attention, that it's a thing. And then I later found out it is an actual thing.
Yeah, people, there's, BDSM.
Yeah. No, BDSM is complete. I know BDSM. I know
But
BDSM.
there are people in
I'm
those
aware of it in
circles
that
who
sense.
are in that particular. But I think here what we get, I think for me, and this is now post
Okay.
reflection happening in the moment, I'm realizing that it's an introduction to the reality of black people in coitus, and that BDSM is not a new thing for abantu abamnyama. It's just that some of them don't know what it is that they're doing,
Okay.
but they're doing it on a almost like grassroots level. If you looked at it like a soccer,
Okay.
it's almost like it's grassroots.
Okay.
And then, but about the further into the
Okay,
culture
so-
or the,
Okay.
they just know it here, face value, right?
Mhm.
And it's what they do. Because he doesn't even know he does it. This is the other thing about him.
I don't know. I think he knows he does it.
No, I think he's, because also we've got to understand that his understanding of what coitus is and the coitus play and what she fantasizes are two different things, but the way he has coitus is aggressive.
Now, the reason I say I think he knows, right, is there are two distinct ways that they have coitus.
But even that first breaking was traumatic for me.
For you, but there are two distinct ways that they have coitus.
Yeah.
There's the we're good,
Yeah.
and then there's something is wrong,
Yes.
right? And she knows, she can tell, and I'm pretty sure that, and this comes from when I did my own little bit of research on these things, that there are people that this is how they vent whatever it is within them. And what made sense to me was that thing of, there are people who drink when they're stressed, and there are people who take drugs and things, and there are people that use sex as a coping mechanism.
But you see, yes, and this is the other thing for me. It's not the first time. There's another book that I'm reading on Facebook, and there's a character there, or there are a couple of male characters in this particular book, and it is a thing. There's a thing in Black love culture, and I don't want to even say it's a Black love culture thing because I presume that it
It's
exists.
a people thing.
It's a people thing.
It's a people thing.
That when people are in stressful situations or things, there's a culture of even when a husband doesn't like something,
Right.
they use coitus
Right.
to correct things.
Corrective behavior.
Yes.
Okay. I'm aware of that. Attitude adjustments. That's what.
Yes.
Attitude adjustments.
Like, I'm like, but anyway, I think we're deviating. So we need to start wrapping up. It's the part of the that we don't like. Not yet.
Not yet. Give me. Like, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't. There's so much to unpack in the story, and we've literally only spoken less than the first third of the book.
Yes.
Right. And I don't want people to get the impression like I dislike the book just because I say there's a lot of things that were red flags and warnings and not necessarily issues, but things I was like how is this person continuing?
It's a beautiful book.
No, it's a
How they progress, how they get married. The love story is actually really pretty. Outside,
no,
it
there's
is.
no love story in there.
No, there is.
That's not a love story.
It is.
No, it's not a love story.
For you, it isn't.
It's not a
It
love story.
is.
It's not a love
But
story.
anyway,
It's two people that are codependent on each other for different reasons.
I don't know.
For me, that's how I see it.
Yes, but there is a love story.
No.
Hold on, this isn't about you.
Stop romanticizing this book, bro.
I'm not romanticizing the book. I'm like, purely there are people who are not you and I who have issues with the non-romantics of the book, but the romanticism in it, they see.
Joe,
It's how you perceive it.
these two characters trauma bond with each other. Yeah? We can agree to disagree on
This
that.
book is beautiful. Dudu writes really lovely. I am trying to mize him. I don't want
Okay.
it to be not known. I'm putting it out there. I'm trying to mize him right now.
One last thing.
Okay.
Because
it is the Dude show.
No, it's not the Dude show, but we're gonna wrap this up. One last thing. Right.
Okay.
This is on
Sorry,
Dudu's
but
writing. Oh, it's okay.
No, it's on my speak. On my mic.
Jenna, go ahead.
Oh.
This is just going to be on Dudu's writing, not the
Yes.
story.
Okay, great.
The reason this book is such a good book, such a good read, is not necessarily the flow of it. Né? It's the fact that she touches on topics and things that make us uncomfortable.
It makes you reevaluate life and dating.
To a degree, yes.
Yeah, no, it does. It makes you think also, and I think this is how you know a writer's great. Is when you can use a book to evaluate things and situations in your own space.
Right.
And be able to counterbalance,
Right.
or to weigh what your personal, because as much as there are red flags in the book,
All of the book.
as much as there are red flags in the book,
All of the book.
you do get a sense of, hey, whoa,
Yeah. No,
And,
it's
you know,
it's
and
truth cut
yes.
into reality.
and I think this is what I appreciate about Dudu's writing, in particular with the series. Ne? Is you get a sense of us.
Very true.
Us bantu bamnyama.
Yes.
Even the way she writes about the discoveries and how we internalize and how we react, and the different people react differently, but they react as if ingathi ngabantu bazi.
None of my friends would react like that, but I get what you're saying.
Yes, no,
I get
it's
what
not
you're
obviously
saying.
not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you can relate that.
Yeah, you can.
You can see that
I've
somewhere
heard-
in the
I've
neighborhood
heard
also.
stories, not necessarily similar, but
Yes.
align at certain points.
Yeah, so for me, it's that's the interesting thing.
But then I say, her writing that.
Himonate. Did we have a music thing that we missed? What did we miss, Kusha?
You missed music.
We missed music. What's on the what? Okay, we're gonna go to a short break, and then we'll be wrapping up, guys. I don't want to go, but yeah, it is what it is.
My hand is on my mouth. That's how much I don't want to go. And we're back.
We're back. Go. Yeah. What are the songs, Karan?
Zulu essay.
Super SA
Kusha.
and Sisi. Super SA and Sisi. Fine.
Sis
Even-
Nalanda Uncle.
Yeah, the people came to listen to the stuff, not listen to the music. But that's my opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry, people.
Hey,
Not to be conceited.
it's always a drop with him, Kusha.
Wait, so before we go,
Yeah.
what's one other thing?
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, the coffee table is sponsored by the Big Bad Blend.
Yes.
That
We
is-
forgot to plug.
I never forget to plug. Tipunga Big Bag every weekend. I can't forget to plug them.
Yeah.
So that is one of our partnerships, amongst others. But we won't get into that today. So, yes, Big Bug, you can find them on Facebook. They have an IG?
I'm not sure, but I think you can find them on Facebook.
Facebook,
for
yes,
now.
for now. All the details are there. You can order, do what you want. It is filter coffee. This is not instant coffee. Do not make the mistake of thinking you're buying instant coffee here.
Yes.
No?
Important.
Yeah.
Public
Very
service
good,
announcement.
very good filter coffee at that.
Okay, great.
Now, wrapping up.
Shout out to XM Radio.
Yes, wrapping up. Hlomu the Wife. Any closing thoughts on your side?
Read the book.
Okay, read the book.
But before that,
Anything you want to touch on?
let's touch on
Okay.
her pregnancy.
A
The
pregnancy.
discoveries, the
Okay. Small onion break from the pregnancy. I just want to say, because as much as we touched, and I touched on a lot, the red flag situations and the trauma bonding, and there's a strong family element in this book.
on both sides.
Yes.
But it's the dynamic of difference
Yes.
that is highlighted.
It's the differences of growing up in a wholesome two-parent household. Not everything there, but enough love, in the corner, and
We lost our parents. They were shot in front of us.
we were
We were
hunted, forced to flee, and we had to make things happen on our own. But we remained as a unit, and as a unit we are a strong.
But you can tell, even the fact that they remain a unit, the Zulu family,
Yes.
says they had a good base in terms of teachings
Yes. Before they did.
before they lost people. And I think that's what makes this book pleasurable. It's a beautiful read. Like, there are a lot of nuances in terms of family and love and how differently we as humans love,
Yes.
and our identification of what is the sense of a family.
Yes.
And it's very palatable or noticeable with Hlomu because she loves differently. She's the black love that went to Model C school,
Okay.
private school, in the context of
When you're comparing the two